birth of the luminous being. What does this mean? This is the being in us, the secret being that we are trying to uncover. And for this conference, I've chosen springtime as the base or foundation, the symbol for this birth. Why? Because when we think of springtime, we think of all the beautiful flowers. We think of all the shoots coming up through the ground. We think of all the birds that are flying back again and singing. We see this immense force that is a power that touches every little part of nature, and it makes it transform, come alive in a splendor of beauty and romance. This is the symbol of springtime. This force is not only present in nature, it is also present inside of us. It is present in the impulses that we have in every part of our beings, in the physical being, in the emotional being, and in the mental being. From when we're little, we have all these impulses, these movements, these natural movements that make us human. And they're good movements. And these impulses, these forces, what are they taking us to? Do we know? Well, in the Vedas, which are ancient books that were written thousands of years ago, the Vedas that were written by holy men and women said that we are always looking for three things. One is happiness, knowledge, and immortality. So, since time doesn't exist, and here we are today, in the same condition that the Vedas propose for us, how do we find these three things? We find them looking for pleasure. No. We find them looking for information to fill our minds. We find them in the search for longevity of our physical being. So as we feel these impulses, we create what we know in our first springtime of impulses, the individual being. And this individual being is moving inside of us in many parts, many selves. And sometimes it is fulfilled in the world, and sometimes it is not. And we find through these experiences of life that it is a mixture of experiences. And what happens is time after time after time, we realize our own limitations and the world's limitations to fulfill us. And it is at this moment, this little spark of a realization, when we can have an awakening. When we can have an awakening or an understanding of a voice that's deeper inside of us, a calling deeper inside of us, a voice that is telling us to look for more. In this moment of awakening, in this moment of realization, what happens to us? Why does this happen to us? They say, well, it is a part of us perhaps that is looking, the lover looking for his or her beloved, the mystical love. Looking, not in the world, but beyond the world. Perhaps it happens when we realize an emptiness inside. We may have all the material things. We may have all the successes. We may have all the things that materially the world tells us we should have. inside, we open the window and we say, oh, I'm empty still. So these manifestations, these reasons, not finding meaning or profoundness in the world, can help us to give birth to what I'm calling today the second springtime. The second springtime. This is a moment of awakening, a moment for us to look for a deeper birth. In ancient India and ancient Egypt, they called the people that were looking for the second springtime the twice born. The twice born. It's really fascinating. You look in the ancient texts, and you look, and they speak very, very respectfully of those who are looking for a second birth. They speak of how this is our true calling, that this is one of the main reasons why we are here on the earth. So today I would like to provoke a reflection inside of you. I would like to help you to call upon your second springtime.